All right, everybody, this week on the high road, we're heading to the Cornhusker state of Nebraska, and we're going to be hunting with muzzle loaders. It's early December, and we're hunting just outside of the little town of O'Neill. So the outfitting name for this hunt that I'm on is Gobble N Grunt Outfitters. Now, half of Gobble N Grunt Outfitters is actually Mike Zmek. And Mike Zmek, you may have seen him with Blue Rock Outfitters up in Montana and Wyoming with us. Now, I don't want to get you confused, but Mike actually is partners on Gobble N Grunt Outfitters with another fellow, Chris Colfax.
Stay tuned for more Gobble N Grunt Outfitters. We're going to be posting stuff on Facebook all week long.
The Gobble N Grunt, just like the name, they wind up do deer hunts in the wintertime, and they have some of the best spring turkey hunting in the country. On this hunt, Mike is going to be taking us out and getting us set up, and also doing some hunting on this trip is my cameraman, Johnny.
So I've been looking forward to this hunt for about a year now. I was actually fortunate enough to be the cameraman for Keith's hunt here last year.
He's got to turn sideways. Look at him pawing in the snow. That's cool. All right, here goes. Holy smokes, that is amazing. Next time you're thinking about going on a whitetail hunt, you may ought to give Mike or Chris a call. I think you'll be very pleased with what they have up here in Nebraska. Thanks again, man.
Heck yeah, we love having you.
So this trip, I'm gonna be behind the trigger, but I'm still gonna be behind the camera, because Keith and I are both gonna be doing a little bit of self-filming. Now, one of the things that really made me want to do this hunt, it wasn't the big deer. You can find big deer anywhere. It was Mike Zmek. And Mike is just a class act guy. He is like one of the best. And he's gonna go out for you, and he's gonna get it done every single time.
Jesus.
What do you think about that?
You got it.
So the main reason I want to come out here is to hunt with him, because there aren't many places where you can find people like Mike.
I wish every outfitter had the quality characteristics of Mike Zmek. I've known Mike over half his life, literally. Mike is a farm boy from Nebraska. Okay, he was raised right by his mom and dad. He's got a beautiful wife and 3 beautiful little girls, and I mean, he is the most attentive father you've ever seen.
This right here is the Zmek crowd.
Mike is just a great guy, and I promise you, he will go the extra mile every single time to make sure that his hunters are happy. Mike, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here at Gobble N Grunt Outfitters in Nebraska, we hunt for the Merriam turkey. We have great big populations of Merriam turkey, some of the most you'll see anywhere. Also in Nebraska, we have the greater prairie chicken. It's a hunt, it's not a pheasant shoot, but it has one of the highest populations of the greater prairie chicken as well in the Midwest. And of course, big old whitetail bucks. Nebraska really wants people to come hunt the state. And because of that, we've got really long seasons. Our archery season starts September 1st, which is really cool because you can hunt deer in the velvet. After that, of course, is the rifle hunting season. It's right dead smack in the middle of the rut in the middle of November. You're gonna see lots of deer running around, a lot of rut action. And what people don't realize is our muzzleloader season, which is the whole month of December. You also catch a really, really good secondary rut then, and it's almost as good as a rut in November. This week I'm super excited because, as always, I get to have Keith come back up and hunt with me, but it's going to be a little bit different because I actually get to guide Johnny. I've known Johnny for a long time. I've always seen him behind the camera, but this week we get to get him in front of the camera, and I want to get him a big buck.
Now it's time for viewer feedback, brought to you by Protect the Harvest, Protect the Hunt.
All right, this one is from a Jamie. He says, I rarely watch one of your shows where you're not successful taking whatever it is you're after. Am I to assume you're always successful? Do you feel you have to show you killing an animal to make a successful show? Jamie, for me, I don't have to kill one to have a successful hunt at all. And the reason why is because I love every aspect of the hunt. But doing TV shows, somebody needs to kill one in order for it to be successful, in my opinion. So on hunts like this, I got my fingers crossed, hoping that we can make it happen. Jamie, that's a good question. If you've got a question, all you need to do, head on over to our website and hit the Connect with Keith tab. Nebraska is known for having some big whitetail deer, and there's all this big open agricultural country. And so the cool thing about Nebraska is that December is basically open the entire month for muzzle loader. You can go get an over-the-counter muzzle loader tag and go. I mean, the deer population is high. You're going to see a lot of animals, and the tags are just available over the counter. So it's really the perfect opportunity for us to go up there, get out the muzzle loaders, and try our luck.
You know, I was fortunate enough to grow up in a family that did a lot of hunting. My dad and mom took me and my brothers out, and we did a lot of turkey hunting. I'm a big turkey nut, as Keith will tell you. And we did a lot of whitetail hunting. Everything from rifles to bows, and I've been fortunate enough to kill some good deer. But I have never done any sort of muzzleloader hunting.
Glad we're doing this.
But not knowing much about muzzleloaders, they're kind of intimidating. But Keith started teaching me more and more about them, and the more I learned, I realized they really aren't hard to use at all. So Mike is gonna let me use his muzzleloader, and from what he says, it never misses. So I'm hoping to keep that tradition going.
Typical Nebraska, early December. It is windy and cold. It's not that cold, low 20s. Anyway, I'm sitting here in a cornfield. Got some cows feeding out in front of me. So Johnny is up the hill from me in the exact same spot where I was last year when I wound up shooting that buck.
Welcome to our first sit, everybody. We are in a cornfield, and not just any cornfield. This is the same cornfield where Keith killed his buck here last year. I love this place. I love hunting with Mike. And let me tell you something, there are more turkey around me than I've probably ever seen in my life. They're walking right in front of the vine, right here. Gobble N Grunt is known for their turkeys, but I know that they're also known for big whitetail, so I'm gonna sit tight and hope that a big old buck walks in.
And you know, you're sitting there and you're looking out across that field and thinking, my gosh, I mean, there's nothing in it. And all of a sudden you look and all of a sudden, boom, there's a deer there, and a deer there. It's like, how did they get there? Where'd they come from? Boy, look at that fat neck on him. He's a young guy. Gosh, it just keep filtering in. Look at them all. Wow. Where'd he go? Come on, Keith, there's two of them there.
So when I'm in a blind like this, especially in a big field, I'm always trying to never stop looking, always checking corners, always checking area where something might sneak out of me. But I gotta say, I was giving special attention to the spot where Keith shot his deer last time, because that buck popped out of nowhere and surprised us. Sure enough, I look up, and almost in the same exact spot, there's a buck heading my way.
I'm looking at a buck right now. It's really pretty. He's in this fence gap. It's a really pretty deer, nice frame on him. I'm trying to get him on camera. This is tough self-filming. Keith does it all the time, but let me tell you something, it ain't easy. Pretty deer, pretty light. Everything's right, but I do believe I'm gonna pass him. Real pretty deer though.
So if it looks like we're in a bowling alley, we are. And this is where we decided to come for supper. Normally Mike winds up cooking, but it's just the two of us in camp, and we had a pretty good night. How many deer do you think you saw?
Oh my gosh, tons of deer.
Well, we were probably, I'm guessing, 400 yards apart. That's what I'm thinking. And I saw 10 or 12 bucks. But Mike wound up had a Pulsar Helion monocular. How many deer did you see?
I stopped counting at 122, and that was just a little bit before dark, and so they were still rolling in.
So tomorrow morning we're going to do something completely different than what we did this morning. We're going to actually hunt tomorrow morning.
So I ended up showing Mike the footage of the buck from the first night, and he saw him and he was like, dang, if you see that deer again, you ought to take him. He looks a little rough, he might not make it through the winter, and they like to keep those 8 points out of their herd. And we ended up calling him Ol Smokey because he had that smoky eye. So now Ol Smokey's on the hit list, so if he shows up again, he's toast.
Everywhere I go, I know that the Lucas products are going to keep my firearms working tip-top shape. Just like our firearms need to be taken care of, so does our camera equipment. And this is a tripod that we wound up using. And this thing, if it could talk, it tell lots of stories. It's been around the world lots, but it takes a lot of abuse. Tripods a lot of time are noisy. I want you to listen to this. So the only way that we've been able to figure out how to quiet these down for a long length of time is to take the Lucas gun oil and then wind up put a few drops of it on the tripod. Whether you're hunting feral hogs or deer, you're going to need to be not only quiet, but you're going to need to be odor free too. And as you can see, that right there knocks it all the way down, no sound at all. And the reason why Lucas again is because this gun oil is odor free. When you've got this much country to have eyeballs on, you can't see it all. It's for that reason that we put out the Reconyx. I mean, the Reconyx are the #1 tool that we have to be able to see what is out there. All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Big coming by here. It's a good spot. All right, if there was a prettier day to go deer hunting, I'd like to know what it is. I mean, sit up here on the end of this cornfield and I moved the blind from where it was last night, about 150 yards. Johnny set up in the same spot where he is. We got in the stand early, and let's get things started.
All right, so I am sitting in the same exact cornfield as I was last night. It's a little warmer. The wind has certainly died down. So I'm just gonna sit here and be patient and hope that they start coming in here pretty quick. Hello, little guy. Where's your granddaddy?
Oh, shut up, Siri. I guess I ought to maybe learn how to turn that off.
I'm listening.
Okay, I said be quiet. Thank you. It's a cold buck if I ever seen one right there.
Got does out here to the left. Nice buck in there right now. All we need is a big boy to do exactly that same thing.
All right, the weather has warmed up considerably, and anyway, I don't know if we're gonna see any deer or not. And put our blind a little bit closer to Johnny's. You can actually see Johnny's blind down there. He's not 400 yards away. So we've effectively got him cornered.
All right, so tonight is our last night. It's our last evening sit. And I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And you know what? That's what hunting's all about. You know, you're searching for something, whether it's a doe or a big old monster buck. And you know, doesn't always mean you're gonna find it. So regardless of what happens this evening, for me, it all ends tonight. All right, so let me show you something really special and cool. You see these rubber bands? Mike's little girls gave me these rubber bands. He's got 3 really sweet little girls. The oldest, her name is Audrey. And then there's Sammy. And then they got a really cute little baby named Logan. And Audrey and Sammy, they come running up to me at Mike's house and they said, "Hey, Johnny, these are for you. This one is for to put on a big buck if you get one. And then this is for you to keep forever," which I thought that was pretty special and cool. So anyway, Mike's a great guy. He's got a great family. And that's why I love hunting at a place like this, because it's like you're hunting with family.
There are deer popping out everywhere, but so far nothing close to being a shooter. If it's gonna happen, it better happen quick.
So now keep in mind, I'm close enough to Keith where I'm gonna hear him if he shoots. and I haven't heard nothing yet. So I really start freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, I got this great opportunity and I'm gonna blow it because we're not even gonna be able to make a show out of this. And all of a sudden, I look up and there's Smokey. I got 2 minutes left to make it happen, so it's gotta happen right now. So I got a hill in front of me, so I can't see down the hill, and Smokey has gone down in there, following some does. And the does start working their way up, and there's no Smokey to be seen. And I start panicking. I'm talking about we are really getting down to the wire, because the sun is going down and there isn't much time left. Boom, there he is. So I gotta get the gun up and I gotta make it happen. It's now or never.
Oh my God. I'm so hyped up right now. Oh my God. Let me tell you what just happened. It is the final minutes of our last day. I'm talking about the last 2 minutes. I just had enough camera light to make it happen. I'm gonna watch the video back. Hopefully, we got Ol Smokey on the ground. Gobble N Grunt, baby. I love this. I love deer season.
First of all, I want to say thank you.
Congratulations.
I can't tell you how much this means to me. It has been a tough season for me, folks. I've been hunting Texas, Missouri, no luck. And to get it done with you here, Mike, at Gobble N Grunt is phenomenal. This guy, I saw him my first night out, and I just didn't want the trip to end yet. So I held off on him, and I was hoping he'd come back, and sure enough, on the last night he did. He's very easily recognizable, and the reason I call him Smokey is because he's got a smoky eye. I think he got poked by another buck because he has been all sorts of beat up. Perfect deer to take, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I couldn't be happier. It has been so much fun out here. Getting to hang with you, getting to hunt with Keith, I always enjoy it. So
I can't wait till you guys get up here. I look forward to it every single year.
Well, us too. And there's one thing I got to do while I'm on camera here, and that is Audrey and Sammy gave me these rubber bands, and I told you guys before, and they said this one right here is for when you kill a big old buck, to put it on the buck. So this rubber band, you'll have to show the girls, is going on Ol Smokey. And that one I'm gonna keep forever, girls. Thank you very much. Mike, again, I just wanna say thank you again.
Heck yeah.
It's been a heck of a time, and I can't wait to see you again soon and hopefully get to hunt again.
Next year?
Next year, brother. Awesome time. Couldn't be happier. You know, I'm very fortunate to have the job that I have. Not just to have the job, because we get to do a lot of cool things, but to work with the people that I work with. Keith is the best boss I could ever wish for. You know, traveling around with him and Maddie is just endless fun, and we make an awesome team. And then you got Mike, who is literally one of the best guys in the world. So I can't say how happy I am to have people like them in my life, to where we can go out and experience the outdoors together and have such a good, genuine time, just having fun, doing some hunting.
I love hunting with Keith. You know, I've been doing it for 15 years now, and not only Keith, the whole High Road group. Hunting with Johnny was pretty amazing, and to be honest with you, super easy from a guide's aspect. Sometimes, especially when you're filming a TV show, things can get kind of stressful, but for Johnny, it was always about the hunt, and it's not always about being out there shooting something. It's about enjoying the outdoors.
I love it. I love turkeys, love turkey hunt, love deer. Great time.
I want to make the most of every single hunting trip, and on this particular hunting trip, you know, it's different. I don't have to pull the trigger to have a good time. I'm loving every minute of it. And I love the fact that Johnny winds up loving every minute of it, and he got a nice deer. And how could it get any better than that? And then be able to spend the time with Mike. Mike is a wonderful guy, and I promise you, he is a first-class guy. So this trip, although I didn't punch my tag, doesn't matter. I had a wonderful time. And folks, if you want more information on coming out with Gobble N Grunt Outfitters in Nebraska, give my friend Mike Zmek a call. He'd love to hear from you. If you're watching our show online, you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and post them below. My name is Keith Warren, and I'd like to thank you for watching.
Taxidermy work for the High Road Group is provided by Conroe Taxidermy, Conroe, Texas.